Constantine was released in 2005 to mixed reviews, and while it's unclear if the sequel will ever happen, there are plenty of reasons to be excited about it. The Constantine sequel was announced to be in the works in 2022, but it remains to be seen whether the project will move forward. With DC currently focusing on establishing a new cinematic universe overseen by James Gunn, projects like Constantine 2 would only work as Elseworld stories. Constantine may be one of the darkest fantasy movies of all time, incorporating horror elements well suited to director Francis Lawrence. This movie only has 46% on Rotten Tomatoes, despite being one of the most engaging, well-conceived, and original action and horror flicks of the 2000s. Based on the DC Comics character, the movie took a lot of creative liberties but delivered a highly entertaining mix of stylized violence and character-driven drama. 10. Constantine, 2005, has increased in popularity since the movie's release. Constantine had a lukewarm reception. The original Constantine movie had a lukewarm reception but has increased in popularity since 2005. The movie was rejected at the time, partially due to a lack of faithfulness to the comics, and partially due to its starkly original approach. The movie's dark fantasy and cynical lead weren't for everyone. But with time, critics of the movie realized its merits, making a sequel alluring to many now that the movie has had time to marinate in the minds of Keanu Reeves fans, Hellblazer fans, DC fans, and fantasy fans. It seems less controversial and shocking. The movie's newness was confusing to some, at first. But in time, Constantine's influence made itself clear, with its impact running through TV shows like Good Omens, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and Lucifer. Constantine 2 will get the audience it deserves. 9. Constantine 2 could be a DC Elseworlds experiment. Constantine 2 can show DC Elseworlds' potential. Excitingly, Constantine 2 may be a DC Elseworlds project. As a movie based on the DC Constantine comics, Constantine was a part of the DC world, despite not tying in with any other movies or TV shows at the time. Now that the DC Extended Universe has come to an end and its successor, DC Studios' DC Universe, has begun, DC projects are all being categorized in a certain way. Movies or TV shows that don't fit into the overarching DC Universe that will dominate superhero movies will be labeled as DC Elseworlds projects. These stories can exist outside the DCU canon, enabling different actors to portray DCU characters if needed and enabling the exploration of familiar DC stories in alternative settings. Joker, Folie à Deux is an example of an Elseworlds production. Constantine 2 may well be considered Elseworlds as well. The visuals in a sequel can be even better than the original. Constantine 2 should have better effects. The CGI of Constantine 2 would be far better than that of Constantine. As the Constantine ending makes clear, 2005's computer-generated imagery is lacking compared to today's. At the time, the movie's graphics were solid, but VFX has come a long way since then. Granted, not all modern superhero movies look great, but Constantine is a character that can benefit from inspired and creative visuals. The scenes of demons and angels in Constantine made it a possession thriller par excellence, riffing on the religious themes that made the comics amazing. Now, 20 years worth of technology can offer the story so much more. For example, Constantine being dragged to hell would have looked very different with contemporary visual effects, and fans can now discover exactly what that means. 7. Constantine 2 would be an excitingly different take on the character after the female Constantine. Jenna Coleman made an excellent Constantine recently. Constantine 2 may nod to the first on-screen female Constantine. Jenna Coleman played Johanna Constantine in Netflix's Sandman, adapting the comic book interaction between Dream and Constantine. This was probably the most unique portrayal of the Constantine family in its cinematic history, and Constantine 2 will, at the very least, be following on from its creative effect.